This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up? Hello and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight's episode of the Dodgers POSTCAST brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Well, that one didn't go the way we thought it would. Started off with a Freddie Freeman RBI single, and then Freddie homers in the sixth. Shortly after Ohtani homered, 808 feet of homers between the two of them to re-grab the lead. And really at that point, you feel like, all right, we're just going to turn it on and cruise. It's the Marlins after all. Well, the Marlins kept grinding, kept hitting, and they tied the game in the sixth, or grabbed the lead rather in the sixth. The Dodgers then tied it in the seventh on a Shohei Ohtani double, scoring Hae-Sung Kim to make it 4-all, and then it goes to 10, where the Dodgers couldn't score in extras. And it's really a big disadvantage when you're on the road and you get the runner at second base and you can't score them. That's tough to overcome, especially when you intentionally walk the first hitter to set up a double play in the bottom of the 10th. So just really wasn't tactfully managed, I don't think. And I also have to wonder why the heck JP Feyereisen came in the 10th inning. I mean, there's so many other options. It's not the end of the world to lose to the Marlins, here in early May, but that was bizarre. I mean, Feyereisen just called up to the big club after they sent down the guy that everyone was calling to be sent down yesterday. Many of you guys in the comments were like, they need to send down Yoendrys Gomez, and they did. So there, it's not very often that you call for something and the next day it happens. But that's what happened. They brought up JP Feyereisen. They also brought up James Outman because, unfortunately, the sad news to start the day,
this is what you'll be talking about.
Not the loss. We're going to be talking about the fact that Teo is on the IL with a growing strain. So that is unfortunate. The league leader in RBI is going to be down for a few weeks. So they brought up James Outman, who I feel like I've mentioned it a few times. Have I ever mentioned it? I'm sure most of you know that James Outman is one of my good buddy's nephew. I won't mention it again. I just wanted to mention it for the first time this season because there are new viewers, because we're on a new channel now, the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Started the season down in AAA, and started off very slow, like just sub 200 batting average in Oklahoma City for Outman, which really, is tough. You gotta produce down there. You got to put up big numbers to get the call up. So, by all accounts, what I've been told is they really like James Outman, and they will go out of their way to give him chances and opportunities until they trade him. And that is out there. That is definitely out there. It's been mentioned many different times and many different stories from many different insiders, writers, that James Outman is a guy that is on the table. Dodgers don't really want to trade him, but they're not opposed to having the conversation. The White Sox have been a team that have been talking a lot about trying to acquire James Outman so he could, definitely get more at-bats there on the South Side than he does in LA. But they brought him up because he was Player of the Week last week, I believe. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago, but he's turned it around down in Oklahoma City at AAA, and it really started to hit the ball. Had a fantastic week. So I guess the timing was right with Teo going on the IL and James getting hot. So they brought him up, and wow, that was tough to watch. Brutal. He was late. He was early. He was off balance. He was indecisive. I mean, really, he did walk one at bat, which was a decent at bat because a couple of those balls were right on the edge of the strike zone. But the rest of his at bats, all three of which were strikeouts, were just brutal at bats. Yeah, he doesn't look better at all, as Johnny Owen has said. Unfortunately, he looks the same. Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it. It was brutal. Just indecisive, kind of that approach that Conforto has had of late that we've seen a lot of from Muncy. And I know you guys think I'm a Muncy apologist. Call it like it is. He's brutal. Was some of the comments I've got yesterday. I think Muncy is starting to come around. I don't know that I'm an apologist. Some of the at-bats yesterday weren't great at-bats, and he had an 0 for yesterday, an 0 for today, but he did walk twice. So, look, at this point, there's some guys down in AAA that they might consider bringing up, but I don't think they're optioning Max Muncy to AAA. It's just not going to happen. So we're kind of stuck with him. So I am choosing to try to be positive when it comes to watching Max Muncy and breaking down his swings. There are times when it does look good, when he's balanced and he is waiting, letting the ball travel, get into the zone. There are other times when he looks very off balance, swinging at bad pitches. The approach is bad. He's lunging. It's very, very inconsistent. And unfortunately, when it comes to inconsistency and how it relates to talent level, it's not the same as Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani can be very inconsistent and the next day just be on point, getting the foot down, getting balanced, driving through the ball, the whole deal. Today, Ohtani, a fantastic day, 2 for 5, a home run, 2 RBI. He did strike out twice. So maybe fantastic is a bit of an exaggeration, but 2 hits, including a homer, balls hammered the way Shohei Ohtani does it. It was in the 6th, first pitch slider, traveled 403 feet, his 10th of the season. Then a couple of batters later, Freddie Freeman, another slider, 405 feet for his 8th homer of the season. He's definitely locked in for the Dodgers. The average for Freddie up to 344, the slug at 689 to lead the team, and is on base at 423. So the OPS is well over 1,100 for him. Shohei at a little over 1,000, just barely. Andy Pius shifted up to the 2 slot today because Mookie had a day off, although he did come into the game in a pinch hit appearance. Pius batting 2. Thought that was a little bit interesting. I don't know that he's a 2-hitter, but when you look up and down today's lineup, I don't know who else you're going to throw in there. I know a lot of you guys are big fans of the youngster Haesung Kim. Haesung, Haesung. I called my friend who is Korean, who I texted with yesterday, and he texted me, as I said, H-E with a line over the E, which I thought made the E long. So I thought it was Haesung. So we talked. He's like, it's not Haesung, it's Haesung. I'm like, okay, Haesung. I thought that's what I said to you the first time around. I'm all, hey, is it hi or hey? And he goes, it's hey. Then he said he. So I'm super confused now, but I'm pretty sure it's Haesung Kim. 1 for 4 today with the run scored. Got picked off because he slipped. 1 strikeout, but still continuing to get it done. Listen to this interesting statistic. Oh, it's time for a break. I'm going to tell you the interesting stat after the break. Oh, that's a good tease right there. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Dodgers falling 10-5-4. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast brought to you by Monarch Money. You ever look at your bank account and go, hey, what the hell? Where'd all my money go? Between dining out, entertainment, online shopping, new tires on the car, these unexpected expenses that just are dropped in your lap. Well, it's easy to lose track for sure. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, the chief financial officer, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. That means you can put your bank account, your checking account, your savings account, your 401k, which is going down thanks to you know who, and spending. You can put it all in one place so you can just stop managing your money, and now you can start building wealth. Easy collaboration. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances. Use Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Tonight's episode also brought to you by Game Time. There's nothing better than catching a live MLB game, the smell of the ballpark food, the crack of the bat, that first vision of the greenest grass on earth when you walk through the turnstile or the tunnel up to your seats. It is all a fantastic experience and a great way to get a great deal. A fantastic deal on tickets is with Game Time. They make it very easy and very affordable with last minute deals, all in pricing, views from the seat, which is one of my favorite features, and the lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, ticket prices drop as the game gets closer, meaning you can get an incredible deal the longer you're willing and brave enough to wait. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Dodgers fall in a game that went back and forth. They led early, they trailed, they tied it. They led twice, actually. They led 1-0. Then they led 3-2. They were down 4-3. They tied it at 4. So they battled. You know, it's a fun game to watch. Back and forth, up and down, without Mookie really playing. Teo on the IL. It was a nice battle. You know, they're going to have to play games, win games like this. The big stat that is the sore thumb in this game that, you know, really is going to be a problem for them if it continues. 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The other night when they couldn't get anything done, they were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You just got to be better. That number, it can't be that low. But this is a crazy fun stat from Hae-Sung Kim. 1 for 4 today, run scored, and 1 strikeout. He's batting .375. His on-base percentage is .375, and his slug is .375. So that's pretty cool.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Turning point for me is, bringing in JP Feyereisen in the 10th inning. Just called up to the bigs. There you go. Throw him to the wolves. That was kind of bizarre. And then they walked somebody to, I don't know who it was, as I was not watching. I was just looking at the box score at that point. They walked a runner to get down to first, and then they loaded the bases, and then just a single, scored the game-winning run. So I thought they made it a little bit easy on them in the 10th inning, and they had other options. Obviously, Evan Phillips is available. I mean, there are plenty of other options down there. The guys that did pitch today, really, really fantastic. Another solid outing from the bullpen, except for Garcia, who gave up 2 runs on 3 hits over 1 inning, 20 pitches, only 1 strikeout. But Gonsolin was very, very good, going 5, surrendering 2 runs on just 4 hits, 8 Ks. And he really did a nice job of mixing up the K. Slider, four seam, splitter. So he kind of stuck with what was working, and I'm a big fan of that across the board, not just pitching. Like, if something's working, hey, let's keep doing it. Unfortunately, what's been working for Will Smith, hitting with runners in scoring position, not working lately. That's continuing to fall. His batting average with runners in scoring position was up at like 750. It's now down to 530, which is still unbelievable. Well, the last few times he just hasn't been able to get it done. As a matter of fact, tonight, the sentence that I wrote, Will Smith, 538 average with RISP, GIDP. So a lot of abbreviations on that little note there, but yeah, grounded into a double play to end that threat, which was not what we were looking for at that point. But Vesia, 3 Ks, struck out the side, had a walk, 22 pitches, the rest zeros in 1 inning. Bonda gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 14 pitches. And Tanner Scott was lights out, 10 pitches, keeps the ERA 2.04, gave up nothing, just 1 strikeout. So a good outing from him. Feyereisen surrendered the game for the Dodgers. So yeah, there's going to be a need for guys to step up. Conforto 0 for 3, Muncy 0 for 2, didn't get on base twice with a couple of walks. So I'm not going to necessarily say that Muncy is washed like all of you guys are. No Name says Conforto sucks, man. Yeah, he's definitely in a slump. I wouldn't say he's sucks. I'm not willing to say this either, but No Name is Outman is a bust. Yeah, not quite there yet. Didn't look good today at all. But here's the good news for Outman fans, and I know there's not a whole lot of them, but the fact is that they said the comment about James Outman was, it's not tonight and then he's heading back to Oklahoma City. It's not just 1 or 2 games. You know, he's going to be around for a few weeks. They're going to give him some runway like they did last year. And that's one of the good things you have to love about Doc. Like, he gives these guys opportunities. He gives them a lot of runway to try to figure it out. It worked for Andy Pages. Starting to work a little bit for Max Muncy. Again, I don't know that they're going to make it. They're going to ride Muncy regardless of what happens, right? The other option maybe is give Kike more at bats, put Muncy on the bench, which is not a bad call. Chris Taylor, I don't know. I have a feeling you guys would not be in favor of that. Swapping out Muncy for Taylor. But those are your options, really, unless you start going down to the minor leagues. And then there are a couple of guys down there that have paid their dues and were probably a little upset when James Outman got called up today. So you look at where they are right now. Fortunately, Mookie just there's no injury. It was just a scheduled day off. But with Teo out, the good news is that Shohei's hitting. Pages is continuing to hit. Freddie's red hot. Will Smith, 2 hits today in spite of the grounding into a double play in a crucial position. So he's still good, batting .309, and nothing wrong with his stroke right now. But Muncy's still trying to find it. Conforto's still mired in that slump in spite of the hit that he had the other day. Rojas, Ofer, but he's still got a decent batting average at .250. And of course, Haesung Kim is apparently the real deal. Definitely not a power hitter. He's a guy that gets on base, and when he does, he can motor, and that's a good sight to see. So I'm liking what I see from him so far, except when he gets picked off, which is not something you see all that often. With only 2 opportunities to try to pick a guy off, I'm always amazed when a guy gets picked off at first base. It's usually because they're going and the intel is that, hey, they're going, and you can pick them off that way, or something happens like happened to Kim tonight. He slips and falls. So that's what cost him there. But Tony Gonsolin looked good, and that's another solid outing from him. Didn't suffer the loss. That went to Feyereisen. But 5 innings for Gonsolin, another back-to-back solid outing. 2 runs on 4 hits, 8 Ks. He really had everything working tonight. So let's hope that continues. Dodgers fall 5-4. They're now 24-12, 9-9 on the road. Series wraps up tomorrow in South Florida at Lone Depot with a matinee. First pitch, 140. Get ready. It's going to be a roller coaster. Landon Knack starts for the boys in blue. It hasn't been good late when he does. So let's hope he finds some mojo, some energy, some location, because he's just been kind of a dumpster fire when he's been out there. Although he does have a win this season. His ERA, as he takes the mound tomorrow, will be 7.27 with a 1.73 whip. He's only pitched 8 2/3 innings, given up 9 hits, 6 walks. That's the number that you're kind of scared about. That's too many walks in 8 innings. 6 walks. Holy cow. But only 1 home run. So let's hope that he comes to play tomorrow. Dodgers fall tonight in 10-5-4. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Appreciate you guys watching and listening. And of course, always appreciate the comments. We will talk again tomorrow. Again, 1:40 start Pacific time as they wrap up before they head off to Phoenix, Arizona to face the D-backs. I'm Pete Fox. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll talk tomorrow.